Hello and welcome to a new episode of the podcast. I am Pierre, the co host of this podcast, and I have Elle just next to me. Hello, Elle.
Hello, everybody.
So today the plan was actually to make a more casual podcast. Like, we won't speak about a specific different topic. It will be more about, let's say, free talk. However, we have a few subjects in mind. Um, what's your are you happy with that, Elle?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Because to be honest, we didn't really have time to prepare anything, and it's a bit like a last minute show. However, I can guarantee you the quality will be there. So, Elle, um, what was the thing you wanted to speak about?
Whoa, are you putting me on a pedestal, sir? Are you putting me on blast right now? Because I don't have anything to say at all today, which is really funny.
Okay, I thought you had a few things in mind.
Yeah, for now, I'm just enjoying the view of the bay
Yes,
and
to
people watching and dog watching as well.
to give you a little bit of context, we are on a beautiful bay.
Is everything okay?
Yes, I
Yes, you
am,
are. You are okay.
and there are a lot of beautiful dogs walking around.
Yeah, so many pretty dogs, and they swim in the bay. Um, with so much life in them. Then they go home, and then yeah.
Easy, simple life. So one of the topic we had in mind was the way of you can actually, instead of making your life complicated, hard, going, always looking and thinking there's always better, you could just see how can I make my life simpler, and how can I just live with what makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a quote that I listened to in YouTube a while ago, and it's saying like like to I think comparing yourself to other people is like a thief of happiness. And and I think I didn't fully put the quote in my head, but yeah, and to but yeah, there's like to stop the thief, like there's something you have to do, and it's just to be, live life simply and be happy with what you have and stuff like that. But I'm not
Yeah.
really, I'm here to lecture about happiness and you know like live your life simply, live your life the way how you want it, but don't tell other people to live their life like how you do it, because you're definitely not the same people. And sometimes I listen to people in YouTube speaking about how to live their life and stuff like that. But really, are we in the same situation? Like, oh, it's not about an issue about the money, but also time. But in some other people's reality, money is an issue. It's like for you, you think, oh, what am I gonna do with my life? Oh, I have the money. What am I gonna do? I feel like I'm lost here. Stuff like that. And then people are like, some people have their own problems too. So spreading something like, oh, just do it, just travel, get off your ass, and then oh, sorry, get off your bottom, and
That's
just
better.
just travel. Try new
Yes.
things. Because we are facing different demons on a daily basis,
Everybody
and
is different. Now, obviously, suggestions are important because if you didn't try it, you don't know.
yeah, but
So you should try it.
don't spread it as if it's the absolute, because it's not.
There's no recipe of happiness. That's true, and everybody has different visions, different visions and different perceptions of of life and of the situation of what's happening and also of experience. So maybe for me, I go somewhere and my experience will be really good and it will change my life forever and it will make me so happy. But for you, Elle, if you go exactly in the same place I tell you to go, if you see exactly the same thing, well, your perception will be different. And because we have different backgrounds, because we have, you know, different education, we are maybe also from two different places. Like, for instance, earlier we were speaking, Elle and I, about palm trees. In my case, I think palm trees are so, I don't know, they're beautiful, they're elegant, they are peaceful. I love palm trees, and I was sharing my love about palm trees to Elle, and Elle had a, I mean, I'm not really my love, but how much I like palm trees, and so Elle was
He loves palm trees.
so Elle just the perception of Elle of you um, is different because again your background and from where you are from, palm trees is just normal, and so of course you don't have the same perception, and it's valid for everybody else. And this is why when someone says you should do this because it will change your life, it depends. Maybe yes, maybe no. But now you should, obviously you should take actions in your life. You should always move ahead, but it doesn't mean that something that works for someone would necessarily work for somebody else.
Yeah, it's, you know, if those things work, one size fits all clothes would have been the shit. But no, it isn't. Because it's not possible. We're all different, facing different things, facing different problems. And so, yeah, sometimes I think about people who spread these, who spread like advices, but shouldn't it be more about sharing your experience rather than sharing advices? Like
Oh
like
yeah.
you should say, "Oh, I'm feeling this and that. I feel like this and that," and then um, that I tried this and I felt this way. It might not be the same for you, but I'm just sharing my experiences. Not like, yeah, go pick up your life out from Las Vegas and move to Japan and yeah, live in the hostel. Not poor, but for the experience. Like,
Mm,
I don't know. Like, it tickles me. It tickles me the wrong way, let's say. But yeah, it's just my own opinion. As I said, one size fits all doesn't exist.
yeah, no,
Oh, I sound like
that's
I'm
for
drunk.
sure. That's that's for sure. We have to. It's really important to because we are all different. When you read things or when you watch things, most of the time people want to say to you, "Oh, you have to do this. That's amazing. That's the way to do. That's the future. Everybody has to move to this direction." But actually, everybody is different, and the person speaks for himself or herself. And the most important is to make your own opinion and to know if it will work and if it's good for you. So first you have to know yourself, and obviously out there like videos and so on social media platform, on video sharing platforms such as YouTube. Well, most of the people will tell you more or less like an advice, a piece of advice. So what you should do, instead of sharing only the life experience, they should do the second. So only say, "Oh, hey, I have tried this. This is how I like it. I went there. I'm now eating much healthier. This is the result on my body." Instead of saying you should also do this because it did work for me, so it will work for you. And if it doesn't work on you, you will feel like, wow, I'm different. Maybe it doesn't work for me because I have a problem. No, but most of the time, the videos where people just share um, their experience, but uh, not sharing what you have to do, is quite rare. So obviously, it's your homework to know very well yourself and to know if it will apply for you and what do you want in life. Um, it's not because for some going on um, going to like reading a book every day will change the life of some people, but not of everybody. It depends also what you read. It depends what you want to be, and that's the most important factor.
Yeah.
And it's not because sometimes some people's life look interesting from the outside, then you want to do it just because you believe that life looks cool or looks nice, but actually maybe you will be miserable because either you won't adapt it to yourself, or just because it's not made for you, and that's fine.
Yeah, but it's not me demonizing advices, but some advices are good when they're asked, when they're needed, that people ask for it. But but when people give a general advice, they should have like a disclaimer that of course it doesn't work for everybody, but maybe this is the push that you need.
Mhm.
That would be really nice. Not saying the absolute, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you should do this.
Don't apply this um, A to Z. Like, this is not a tutorial, or it's not a course.
Yeah, yeah. Unless if it's like the course is about technical things, then yeah, that makes sense.
That's different.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
life is not technical.
No, no, no. Life is not it's not like a to-do list, or it's not like a manual. There's no manual of happiness. Um, because we are all different, and it's actually really good we are all different. It would be so boring, and it would be a catastrophe, I believe, if everybody were exactly the same and thinking exactly the same, because it would mean we would be robots, basically. All manufactured, all like made the same way. So that means we would think the same way, and it would be horrible. So we are all different. So when we watch something or when we listen something, again, it doesn't mean it will apply for you or for your culture or for your background, and you have to think more than once. And it's really easy to be influenced by those videos, and we don't want to be left by our tribe. Our tribe is actually the people we surround with, or the people we want to be or to become. And so it's easy to like to have the will, to have the desire of becoming like them, but at some point what you see from them is only the outside of themselves, and it's not the inside. And that's the trickiest part, because you never know the inside. What you should do is to know you inside, and to compare your inside of you tomorrow from you inside of you today, or if you prefer, you inside of you today from you inside of you yesterday. That way you can compare if you are going to the right direction, and if you are happy with that direction or not. And that way you can move step by step to the main happiness goal.
Wow, I am just listening at the same time looking at my Doc Martens because I am starting to see wear and tear. Yeah, we are not. This
This
is
is
not.
not a product. We are not placing a product here. We are not affiliate with them. It's just that it's easy to be distracted by beautiful shoes, I
Yeah,
believe.
and also please
But
sponsor me, Dr. Martin. Anyway, yeah,
but
this is.
again, like, it's not because one pair of shoes is fitting you well that if you say, oh, everybody should wear this.
I didn't say
Again,
that.
we are so different. It doesn't now obviously everybody, I think no one will disagree that having a good pair of shoes, it's important if you work a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the kind of podcast that we're at the moment. Like it's nothing, it's just conversation wise. Anyway,
From two really wise people.
I'm not saying that. Anyway,
Indeed, like again, how do you
how,
measure the wiseness of someone? It's impossible.
no, yeah, never. I don't know. Anyway, is there anything more you wanted to say, Mister?
So yes, of course. For you, Elle, like, what would be your your advice of you 10 years ago if you had to restart and to have a happier life? Maybe when you're a teenager you didn't feel happy, or I don't know. So is there something, if we have someone listening to us who is 15 and or 16, would you suggest things you wanted to know back then?
Well, this is not a suggestion for all the 16-year-old out there or
Exactly this,
anybody who's listening at all.
but
But
for
this is a
your own
question of
experience.
this is a question of me looking back and hindsight, like saying what I should have done better to myself. But that's impossible. But this is just wishful thinking. But I wish when I was still working as a pharmacist back in the Philippines, I wish I saved my money and not spend it on skincare because I did spend it on skincare, like a lot of money. And it's like I wish I didn't do that because it didn't really change anything at all. It's just like fulfilling this void in my heart of adding it to cart and then buying it and spending money. I wish I did that. And then once I came here in Australia, I wish I could have spent that money on actually taking an exam that I really am about to take now earlier, because the knowledge is still there. The motivation is like I'm fresh out of work from the same field. So I wish I did that, to be honest. It's just that yeah, that's just the regret I did. I mean, that's the regret I have. I mean, it's not really a regret, more of like I wish I did it. But yeah, that's it. I couldn't really say that I would be happy any other way because I don't know. But I think that's one of the things, because when you say, "Oh, I should have traveled more," but that's not really possible in the reality of me before, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like,
See,
you know,
it's not a regret,
yeah,
but
it's not a
on your
regret.
scale, on what you were able to do, these two things you could have done
Yes,
differently.
yeah,
Sometimes we do things on daily basis. On a daily basis, we sometimes spend money where we shouldn't, or we just do bad habits, and we don't really notice the impact it can have on our life in the long term. And it's only like 10 years later we wake up and we think, wow, I didn't notice that, I wasn't aware, because it's really hard to be aware in the day. We don't have a big picture of our life when we live each day. It's hard to know if the decisions or if the choices we make are the right one. And sometimes just one choice or one decision we make can change our life, but in the opposite direction where we wanted our life to be or to go. And sometimes we don't know exactly what we want, especially when we are younger. It's a bit, it's a bit like we are a bit in the fog of what we really want to do adult, because it makes sense. It's normal since we still live in, with our parents. We don't have a lot of responsibilities, so it's impossible to know exactly how it will be like, because we are not in that context yet. So it's not possible to protect ourselves. Some can, but it's quite hard to have that level of of thinking to know exactly, okay, I will be like this. Like you really have to vision and to imagine yourself already, um, to project yourself in the future. And indeed, sometimes we do not stupid things, but we do things that we don't really see it could have an impact in the long term, or maybe because we are not educated about like money wise, maybe, or maybe it could be about something else, or sometimes we prefer the direct pleasure, like the pleasure now. Like now it's comfortable now. I like the situation now, but I know by keeping the same habits every day, it would have a bad impact in the future. But as human, it's really hard to see the impact in 10 years. It's a bit like smokers. They like smoking. It's so hard to see that it can have a really bad impact in 15, 20 years. And it's exactly the same like if you like cakes or
I like cakes.
sweet food, eating every day a cake. Yeah, you don't eat, I believe, every day a cake, El. And eating every day a cake, well, it's good. You like it.
I did it
So
once,
it's
3 times a
like,
day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I ate a cake.
yeah,
You know,
but now you stopped it.
no regrets. If that store was in Sydney, I'd buy a cake and I eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But again, you
Bad
can
habits don't do it.
every day. It sounds good. It's a direct pleasure day to day. However, in 10 years, you would have,
I'll be diabetic.
yes, you would have
Issues.
some
Health
health
issues.
some health issues, and then you would regret it.
I probably won't though. It was a good cake.
Yes, but the impact it can have in your life in 15 years, I believe you would still say, oh wow, and now where am I? Like it would be quite sad.
I didn't
And
do it again
sugar,
though.
again, like normally you should never have more than 30 grams or 35 grams of sugar a day, 50 max. Um, and sugar is just a slow suicide, I would say. This podcast is not about this topic, but it's about the choices we make, and it's really important to be aware of this. Again, El, when I was asking you what would be the piece of advices you would give to someone, who is like you 10 years ago, for instance, or something like this, I it's funny because we were speaking of not giving any pieces of advice, and then we are so used and so brainwashed by having people sharing their pieces of advice, by having people suggesting you what to do, a bit like a mentor. And it's what matters the most is to share your life experience and stopping by always saying what you should do. And this is exactly what I just did now, and I realized of my
Yeah.
mistake. And
I wasn't giving a piece of advice to others. It was me
I'm
before
really
myself.
happy you did
Yeah.
that way,
Yeah.
and you could.
I'd never give advice. I say, what do you want? I ask that question to people.
Mm,
What do you want?
exactly.
Because I can't be giving things to you, and like how would I know that? Because I'm not you.
Mm,
So you say, what do you want? Because and then let's start with that, and then we can build up how we will do it.
exactly.
I don't like giving out advices. I don't like saying mentor. I don't
Mm,
like saying like, oh, he's a coach. Like, yeah, you're a coach, like a basketball coach. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, a mentor like a teacher. Oh yeah, that's normal. I'm gonna call them that.
yeah.
A mentor about
What
life.
like a life?
Maybe your mom will be a mentor of your life, but not some random ass dude on
Mm,
YouTube or I don't know on a podcast like us.
yeah, nowadays you have a lot of life coach, which is
Life
a bit
coach.
like a mentor, like
I was about to say the word ASS again, but anyway, I don't believe in those
because
things to be
then they will
honest.
apply what's happiness, what's a good life, from their own point of view. And again, by definition, we are all different. Otherwise, we would be robots. And sometimes we are just brainwashed. It's so easy to be brainwashed. And so we believe, and everybody asks, what's the what kind of advice you would give to someone, and this is not the right way. And again, make your life for you, the one that fits you, the one that suits you. But you also have to be aware that each decision you make could or could not, it depends. But sometimes the little decisions we don't really notice, like buying skincares or buying a flat white every day, can have, even that habit can have an impact on your health and on your on the future decisions you might want to take because of the saving you could have done or not. But flat white or cappuccino could also have a an impact on your health as well.
The let me just declare that the amount of skincare that I was buying is really unhealthy. I only have like a small face and I have a lot of skincare. I have like one face and there's only like what you can't put those products like on an hourly basis. But if you really need that flat white, buy that flat white. Like don't get your Starbucks because if you do save that money, you'll be a millionaire right now. Oh, what a bullshit! What a load of crap! Let me just say that
If
one.
it makes you happy,
If it makes you happy, if it gives
because
you
that little moment you can also have a haha moment during that time. You can also write something or do something you like there, and if it makes you really happy there, we don't know for how long we are on this planet actually,
yeah.
on planet Earth.
But
So it can end tomorrow. So that's why if it makes you happy, that's important too. Now it's always about the balance. It's always about not going not going extreme on both ways.
right, but don't buy the expensive one.
Mm.
Buy the good flat whites that you know is good price for the quality that you receive. Yeah. Anyway,
Amazing. I completely agree with you, Elle.
yeah.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nothing much really.
Well, that's it for me too, actually. So have a wonderful, amazing day, everybody, and we wish you all the best.
See ya.